Hello. Um, Obviously this is gonna be how to learn how to tie a veil with me. Yay! I don't know how to edit, so there's not gonna be any editing. Also, I'm recording this on my laptop, so the camera quality is shit. But my phone is dead and it's charging, so I can't record on there. So I use like basically tablecloth runners slash like scarves basically. But like if I just hold on, like this one's kind of short, but I have other one. Oh, never mind. I have another one that's a little bit longer. But point is, for veiling, especially in Hellenistic polytheism, it's a hard phrase to say for me. Um, it doesn't really matter how you do your veiling, as long as this area of your head is covered and you have the right intentions, whatever set for it. You can do more research about that if you want. Um, you can check the description of this video. I might add some like links to websites that talk more into detail about what it means and stuff. But I'm just gonna explain the little piece of what I know. Basically, it's kind of like, to explain it in an easy term, it's like when like hijabis, they cover their head and like they cover up. It's a form of worship to their god, just like in Hellenistic polytheism or paganism or even Christianity. It's very similar to a lot of other religions and their religious wear. So if that makes it a little bit um, more understandable to you, awesome. So this is the veil I'm going to use. This is just for demonstration. I don't usually wear this one. I usually wear this one, which I just took off for this, but it's a little bit harder to use since the fabric of it is more flimsy than this one. Um, but also, I'm sorry if there's a like fan noise and also this thing. That's because of my fan, and I don't have that part taped down. I plan on taping it down in the future, but for now, just deal with it. Um, so you, how do I explain this? So you want clips, hair clips, whatever, like these ones. I feel like I'm making a video in like 2019 right now. I recommend having three if you're doing it alone. You'll understand why later. So I have one, two, three. Ignore that this one's not black. I couldn't find another black one. But the first step is if you have bangs, then it probably works best. But if you don't have bangs, you can take whatever part from around the middle, like from here, this area, like your hairline, you just take like two pieces. My hair is not very long, so it's just gonna be about the same length as my bangs. But like that, you bring it forward and you put that under it. It's easier for me when I do it with this, like my bangs portion of my hair. So I'm gonna do that instead, just because it's easier for me, but the same steps still apply. So I recommend for now, if you don't want to lose this piece, you can just clip it just for now. but that way you can just easily access this piece that you want. Um, like so. And what you want to do is you want to take this. I recommend if you're doing it alone, like I said, you can I'll just demonstrate and then I'll explain the steps because I know some people are better at um, visual demonstration, some people are better with verbal demonstration. So I'm just gonna do my thing and then I'll explain. Okay, I messed it up, but I'll do the verbal explanation first then. So you put one end, ew, it's not very um, cleanly, but it's probably the easiest way to do it if you don't have anybody to help. I don't feel like calling my mom in to help me right now, plus she doesn't like being on camera. So basically, you put this end, whichever end you want on, like, how do I explain? Whichever end you want at the back, you put that end in your mouth. That way it's not in your, like, up here and everything, messing up your hair. Um, and then what you do with this clip, once it's like that, you pull it around in front of your face and you clip it. You can use a bobby pin, or not a bobby pin, but a safety pin, whatever you have, a thumbtack even would probably work. Earrings, whatever. Anything that can, like, keep it in place for a short amount of time, use it. In my case, I'm just using another hair clip because that's what works best for me out of what I have available. But if you don't want the two ends, once they're done, being different lengths, I recommend taking, like, you know how you would fold a blanket or something? You want it to be, like, you can't see, but you pull it out all the way, and then whatever is in the middle, bite it. I'm gonna do the demonstration now. You fold and around, around, and at this point you can let go of the part under unless you want to keep a good hold on it, but I don't recommend it. You gotta kind of tighten it. You can also just, like, tie it. That works too, but very loosely I recommend. Very, very, very loosely. Um, I'm probably gonna edit this part out if I can. So, very loose tie, right? You have this part, the part that I showed you earlier. You kind of want this area, the very edge, to be right under the part, like at the very edge. And then this is where the clips come in. So mine are see-through so I can see better. This is why I recommend having a friend. If you don't have see-through ones, you take the clip, you slip it under the veil, and you angle it so that it's also catching the strand of hair. And you just do that. I recommend doing it on both sides for I recommend doing it on both sides for extra support, but if you're only going out for like a couple minutes or like walking your dog, if you have a dog or whatever, for example, then this just works fine. Just one works fine, I'm sure. And then after you're done with that, you kind of look crazy after you untie it. See how the ends are about the same length? That's good, you want that. And then you just kind of flip it like a bride. This one's kind of not great. I might grab my other one for a second demonstration just because that's a little easier. But once you have this part, you know, stuck to your head, you flip it over, and this is where the friend part comes in if you want like a cute little bow in the back and you can't tie a bow at the back of your head. If not, you can just do a little easy, whatever it's called, knot. You know, the one that's like, I'll show you. The one that you go like this. This one. Now I look like a Russian grandma. But but yeah, so that's basically what you do, except on the back or on the front if you want. But if you want more coverage, I'll post another video. You can like trap as much hair or as little hair as you want in there. You can also adjust this so it's like further up or further back. I kind of like it about this length, or you know, like that. And I just kind of tuck. Sometimes I tuck, sometimes I don't, but I like to get these little like stray hairs in there as much as I can, just because it's easier for me. I recommend tucking these parts in, unless you don't like the look of that, then you can just do it normally. But then you just tie it, easy peasy, right? For most, hopefully. And then you can make it as loose or as like tight as you want, but there you go, you're done. You made a veil. Awesome. I do recommend doing some research on what veiling is, specifically in whatever religion you're in. I know it's different for a lot of religions, but for me, I'm just doing like Hellenic polytheism because that's what I believe in. So I hope this helped. The video I post like directly after this, because I'm recording it as soon as I'm done recording this one, will be how to do basically a hijab, but not really a hijab. But if it's cold out, if you live somewhere cold, if you want to keep doing this in the winter, then I'll have another one for you there. But if it's summer, you want to stay cool, I recommend using a thin, light fabric texture like this. Kind of like a shawl. Not a shawl, but like something like something that you could feel like you could drape over your shoulders like this and just kind of I'm a princess. See? If it gives you that vibe, that light, flowy, good for summer. Okay. I think I'm done. Goodbye for now.